As 2023 is drawing to a close, I thought I'd take some time to end it with a video about my channel that would be completely honest and transparent. Strange idea, I know, but just bear with me. I've seen some other videos in which people claim to tell you about how much they have earned with their videos and how they did it. The secret of their success, if you will, but found them to be tedious, meandering clickbait that waffles on for ages and does no such thing. So I thought I'd be different and go for it with the truth. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? We all like getting the truth, yeah? Without honesty and factual evidence to base our continued existence on, society as we know it would collapse into a confused morass of misinformation, miscalculation, misinterpretation, and self-immolation. What do you mean I'm too late to that party? Anyhow, here's a brief rundown or overview of how shit is. I'm thinking subscribers might find it interesting, and those thinking of starting up their own YouTube channel might find the inspiration to either go for it or throw in the fucking towel before they start. One of the things in my favour, I think, is my attitude to all this. Yes, I realise some of you will be thinking his attitude stinks, but let me explain. I had a channel for some time before I decided, thanks to the pandemic, to do something with it to pass the time during lockdown. I'm an opinionated film fan, so I thought to do some opinionated film reviews, purely to indulge myself and fill the hours of crushing isolation. Not that I was completely alone, you understand. That would have been too much to ask. Wife, dog, bloody telephone, and working from home, and Microsoft fucking Teams. I didn't care if anyone watched, subscribed, or paid any attention, because that was irrelevant, wasn't the point. And because to a large extent, and in fairness to them, YouTube does support freedom of speech, I could do and say mostly whatever I wanted. If some woke flake turkey burger from hell took offence and got me cancelled, so what? Fuck 'em, right? Like I should care. That was 3+ years ago, and this is what happened and where things currently stand. Up there now before you are all the videos I produced and uploaded, and I think this might be the sort of screen you see if you're a subscriber. Someone put me right if it's not. 209 of them. Whipping over here takes me to the YouTube studio, where I can access all the channel stats and edit certain elements of each individual video, make changes, delete things, and so forth. According to this, in terms of the lifetime of the channel, I've got over 250,000 views. My understanding is that anything over 30 seconds of watch time counts as a view. So over 250,000 people have spent more than 30 seconds watching one of my videos. Exactly how long anyone spends over that 30-second period of time, I don't know. But there is an average watch time figure which I'll get to in a bit. It also informs me that I now have 1,577 subscribers, which is nice. Hitting the content option brings up a list of all the channel content, including those videos completed and pending publication. Forthcoming attractions include The Last Seduction, The Exorcist Believer, God Help Me, Gangster Number 1, The Devil Ship Pirates, and The Friends of Eddie Coyle. The date column either indicates which date they're scheduled for publication, when they'll hit the tube, or the date they went live. The monetization column advises the status of each video, if it's eligible to earn advertising revenue or not. Certain ones are outcasts, pariahs, like Flesh and Blood and Robocop. Why? I don't know, because YouTube won't go into specifics. Sometimes it's copyright issues, which they do clearly tell you about, but once they've been dealt with and it still isn't eligible, you're in the fucking dark. And now they've age restricted it. Rather than trying to guess what it is that casts this shadow and driving myself nuts, I just accept it. It's seemingly random. Similar elements are present in other videos that have been monetized with no problem. Taking the sagely advice of the late great W.C. Fields, if at first you don't succeed, give up. I quickly gave up. Now the meat and potatoes of this carnival of delights, the analytics. There's like graphs and charts and figures which even some dick like me with mathematical dyslexia can almost understand. In the last 28 days the channel got approximately 10,815 views, which the page tells me is about the same as usual. Approximately 834 hours watch time, which is about 25 hours less than usual. That's not so good. 72 new subscribers, which is about the same as usual, and then the money shot, £21 and 40 British pence. This figure is a combination of advertising revenue and anything contributed by those generous people who hit the thanks button and made a donation. So thanks to them for that. It gets better though. To form a fuller picture, this little tab under advanced mode lets you expand the time frame. I can look at the figures for the last 90 days, the last year, or the lifetime of the channel. This is the daddy. There's a flat line in activity from the 11th of June 2016 when I set up the channel until the 13th of June 2021, which was when I started to upload reviews. In channel lifetime terms, there have been 257.4 thousand views, 18.6 thousand hours watched, which is the equivalent of 775 days, 1,600 subscribers, and the final money shot since the channel hit 1,000 subscribers in June 2023 and started generating income is a grand total of £134 and 80 British pence. What riches! YouTube only pay out when a 60 quid threshold is reached. They take a cut. AdSense, a Google app, actually does the paying, and they take a cut. I get the distinct impression that to make any money from this, you would need subscribers and views in the millions, which I don't got, and most likely never will get. And that is where it's at. When I was made unemployed in March of this year, or sacked as we're being honest, I wondered at the potential for generating income from YouTube. Now I realise that in itself, at least for me, would only be a realistic option if I could live on around 268 quid a year, the equivalent of $340 US. Not to put too fine a point on it, that idea is royally fucked, and so it would appear am I. But wait, YouTube has some canny advice about increasing interest and subscriptions. The main thing being is to give people what they want, which is pretty much stating the bleeding obvious, but not if you're the seemingly counterintuitive strategists of some of the big media producers of today, like Hollywood studios and the BBC. They're currently really big on giving people what they don't want. How do you know what they want? You look at which of your videos brings in the most views and make more like that, they tell you. The most popular video on here is a review of the 1972 John Wayne Western Big Jake, which has 30,000 views. Second is War Movie Cross of Iron with 21,000. Then Where Eagles Dare with 19,000. Beneath the Planet of the Apes with 15,000. Frenzy, When Eight Bells Toll, Chateau's Land, Get Carter, Too Late the Hero, The Wild Geese. That's my top 10 or 11. 2 westerns in there and 4 war films. As the head honcho is a western starring John Wayne, I thought to wrap out another Wayne Western from the same period, The Train Robbers, 360 views, fucking great. Now that's not exactly 30,000, is it? Okay, second to top is a Sam Peckinpah directed film. So, how about a Sam Peckinpah directed Western then, The Wild Bunch? Gotta be a heavy hitter, 700 views. More war movie reviews then. A Bridge Too Far, 877 views. The Big Red One, 878. More Westerns generally perhaps, a bit more promising this, 8 of those scored over 1,000 views, none of which star John Wayne though. Back to W.C. Fields then. I gave up trying to analyse it, and back to my attitude, or attitude problem, whichever way you choose to look at it. Heading into 2024, I'm going to exclusively do what I want to do in the way I want to do it, and sod everything else. I think it's the only way to fly. Subscribers and casual viewers should feel comfortable with suggesting subjects for review if they wish to do so. However, that small but critically important band of patrons who subscribe to my Patreon channel will be given preferential consideration when it comes to suggestions because they're paying and therefore deserve it. But even then, I'll still only do it if I want to or feel that I can do something with the subject matter. That's me done for this year then. You all have a good one. See you on the other side, pilgrims. 2024 won't be any worse, will it?